I didn't mean what I told you, but you took it to heart. Wish I could take it back to get a new start. I apologize at least 100 times. You never heard my perspective or took my advice. But I put all the problems in a pot, then I stirred. I said what I said, what I did was a blur. And it's just a bad habit, maybe it's just a curse. Now our friendship's on Do Not Disturb. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't want to see you around. I tried to fix what was broken, but you made up your mind. I gave you all my reasons, then you pushed them aside. Guess it wasn't enough. When it rains, it floods. Left me drowning here neck deep, dragged me through the mud. You act like I stabbed a knife in you. I cut so deep, I went all the way through. If you guess like me, then I'm a fool. No more drama now, no more shots to shoot. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't wanna see you around. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't wanna see you around. Oh my God, I said my piece. So tonight I'ma sleep like a baby. 'Cause I know I care what you think of me. Come and think of it now. It's all buried. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't wanna see you around. better get to running, better get to running, better get to running. The time is running out. I'm sick of putting fires out. I'll let them burn to the ground. Or is there a better way for you to realize we need a change? I wish happiness was frozen. Thaw it out, take it like it's a vitamin. Take a pill for the pain, ibuprofen. Headache, heartbreaks are starting again. Again, again, again. But better get to running, our time is running out. Oh honey, I'm in doubt. But baby, just say something. Silence is too loud. Where's the love when I'm around? Ooh, ooh. But better get to running, better get to running, better get to running. The time is running out. But better get to running, our time is running out. Oh honey, I'm in doubt. But baby, just say something. Your silence is too loud. Where's the love when I'm around? Ooh, ooh. But better get to running, better get to running, better get to running. The time is running out.
Oh, get ready to roll some dice today, guys, because we got a weird little overlap here. D&D drama. Well, there you go. I was treating it like a 2-word thing, but then I said it like it was one word. So now I just fumbled the bag of saying it was two things. It is two things. I just for those of you that don't know, it is actually crazy that listen, guys, if you want a podcast to be successful, what you do is find your most unemployed friends. I made the mistake of co-opting Kristen Ark and all of them into a pod, and that was obviously not going to work. Okay, obviously, because they labor. I say that like KJ and Hal don't labor, but you know. But yeah, we do. I do that. It is a lot of fun. But yeah. But this is an old drama. This is an old drama that I was asked to cover a while ago by both Hal and KJ, but I'm stupid. Okay. And so I hadn't talked about this because it wasn't really like a good time to do it, right? But yeah, this is 4 years old. Why is your podcast sponsored by Palantir? Did you guys see the clip of Mark Andreessen about how he doesn't think about his thoughts, that he doesn't he doesn't have introspection? Like he just does things without thinking about the consequences. He's like, great leaders never thought about these things. They just did stuff. And for like the past 48 hours, this billionaire has been crashing out because people keep providing him examples of the greatest leaders in human history, providing evidence and examples of how they thought about their feelings and how they, kind of belabored over the most basic of things like romance and love and being a good father and all of these things. It's almost like there's something hollow in today's modern billionaires. Dare I say it, that guys like Napoleon and Marcus Aurelius and Friedrich Nietzsche probably had a much more vibrant internal worldview and were a lot more human than the incredibly wealthy supervillains that exist now. But it's just very funny to be like, interesting, because literally everybody you mention is one of those. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll pull up the clip now before we get into the main topic today. It was on Twitter, aka X Everything app, and it did some serious fucking numbers. I gotta scroll a bit. Okay, here we go. This is like a minute-long clip, but it is by far one of the most befuddling things that I had seen in quite some time. All right, here we go.
You don't have any levels of introspection.
Yes, 0, as little as possible.
Why?
Move forward. Go.
I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this. I'm gonna let the clip play and then I'll give my take.
Yeah, I don't know. I found people who dwell in the past get stuck in the past. It's a real problem, and it's a problem at work and it's a problem at home.
So I've read obviously 400, and I think now 10 biographies of history-based entrepreneurs,
Yep.
and that was one of the most surprising things. Like, what's the most surprising thing that you've learned from this? So like, oh, they have little or zero introspection.
Yep.
Like Sam Walton didn't wake up thinking about his internal self. He just woke up. He's like, I like building Walmart. I'm going to keep building Walmart. I'm going to make more Walmarts, and just kept doing it over and over again.
And you probably know, if you go back, like, before 100 years ago, it never would have occurred to anybody to be introspective. Like, it's the whole idea of, I mean, just all of the modern conceptions around introspection and therapy and all the things that kind of result from that are.
So, the concept of introspection is much older than 400 years. That is, like, actually just factually incorrect. We've been thinking about thinking since we've been able to write.
You know, kind
And probably before that.
of manufactured in the 1910s, 1920s.
That's wrong. That's just wrong. That is wrong. Napoleon, Marcus Aurelius, Gilgamesh spends time thinking about thinking.
Say more about that.
Great men of history didn't sit around doing this stuff.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. We have countless examples of letters and writings and journals from the most important people throughout human history doing that exact thing. It is the bedrock of classical Western thinking. We wouldn't have Freud without the countless others that journaled about themselves beforehand.
At any prior point, right? It's all a new construct. It was you know, well, so first Western civilization had to kind of invent the concept of the individual, right? Which was like a new concept, you know, several hundred years ago. And then
We need to put these people in camps. The billionaires, not like any specific ethnic group.
And then, you know, for a long time, it was all right, the individual runs, right? And like does all these things and builds things and, you know, builds empires and builds companies and builds.
Didn't we have the concept of individual rights in the Magna Carta? This isn't something that we developed in the last century. This is something that happened at least a good 6 centuries ago.
Technology does all these things. And then, you know, kind of this kind of guilt-based whammy, you know, kind of showed up from Europe.
Just to put into perspective here, the reason that this guy doesn't want to think about things that he's done is because he's evil. That's it. All right. You should be able to pontificate upon things that you've done or thoughts that you've had and be able to square those in your head. Okay, who is this guy? This is Mark Andreessen of A to Z. It is a investment firm that is associated with tons of corporations here in the United States and abroad. He is one of the billionaires that make up the billionaire oligarch class in America. He has ties to pretty much every single tech oligarch that you could possibly imagine. He is part of the group of people who wish to supersede and replace democracy.
From Vienna, you know, 1910s, 1920s, Freud and all that entire movement, and kind of turned all that inward and basically said, okay, now we need to, like, you know, basically second guess the individual. We need to
second guess the individual. Yeah, we need to criticize the individual.
The individual needs to self-criticize. right? The individual needs to feel guilt, needs to look backwards, needs to.
Well, you know, if you don't feel guilt ever, you're able to just willfully crush any other person behind you without feeling any problems whatsoever. Man, what a really great thing to have, to be devoid of human empathy and to ignore thousands of years of some of the most brilliant pieces of writing that we have. This is like somebody saying that like Alexander the Great conquered an obscene amount of the world. I think you could put him in the same kind of relative importance, right? Or maybe you would apply yourself to that level, right? Alexander the Great was emotional. He was romantic and in love and made dumb decisions on the basis of all of these emotional things. All of them did. Some of the greatest Roman emperors did. They thought about these things constantly. Except for guys like, I don't know, Caligula or Nero, who I think you might have more in common with. I'm going to totally admit that I took that from KJ. We were just talking about this in VC, but yeah, like you know, I fucking what was it? That Caligula was going to stab the ocean, right? Or Nero was playing it wasn't a fiddle, it was like a violin as Rome fell, right? That's the other thing, right? Not a care in the world, having one of your most loyal counselors be a horse, right? That's the level of intellectual heavyweight we have here. This completely rotted reptilian individual with absolutely zero empathy for thy fellow man, a terrible human being of which none of you should be able to relate to. And if you do relate to him, you're a fucking sociopath. All right? There's no other answer for that one. But Mark Andreessen's been getting grilled on Twitter for this. And he keeps, like, he's doing that thing when somebody's owned in an argument and when they keep, like, tweeting about it. And then he's, like, pulling in, like, selective quotes from great thinkers to justify his behavior, right? The lack of introspection is exactly the kind of thing that Nietzsche criticized, okay?
I genuinely believe that you have to be stupid in order to be evil. For a while now it's like a positive correlation and ego.
I am of that same opinion. Right? I recently watched, I'm going to get to the D&D drama in a second, okay? If you come to the stream, you're coming because you want to hear me yap about all this dumb bullshit anyway. But I watched the movie Nuremberg recently. It is okay. It has a bit of like cartoonish moments to it. But the thing that I think is like really prescient to take away from the movie Nuremberg. So to give you the pitch, Nuremberg is about the Nuremberg trials post World War II. So they get the Nazi high command and I forget his name. He was basically assigned to be the next leader of the Reich after Hitler died. And they get him and they bring him in. And basically it's this psychologist played by Rami Malek. And he's basically talking with the guy who's in charge of Nazi high command. And he's psychoanalyzing him, right? And because it's a movie, they develop like a friendship, right? No, Goebbels killed himself by the time that Nuremberg happened, right? Goering, thank you. I'm a Roman emperor guy. I'm not a World War II history guy. That's my fixation. My fixation's antiquity, not World War II. So he like is learning about Goering, and the entire movie is basically trying. It's almost like it's very obvious. The movie is beating you over the head with it that the Nazis don't really have a reason for it. They can't justify their actions. They come up with all these like, you know, laborious, intensive explanations for why they need to have the concentration camps. But ultimately, at the end of the day, they can't really answer for any of it. And the answer is, well, we just did it. We just did it because we needed an excuse, right? And the movie ends with Rami Malek's character being like, they're not uniquely evil. The Nazis are just normal people that did something heinous. Like, anybody could do this, right? They're not uniquely different. But so, like, basically where the movie ends is Goering kills himself before he's able to be hung by the military tribunal, and the rest of Nazi high command is executed. Just spoiler alerts for human history, by the way. There you go. But like, I think it's very interesting because I think we often mythologize these like powerful figures, right? Like in history, but the reality is that they are normal people, right? Which means that they would ostensibly think and have feelings and fall in love, right? Like, one of the things Rami Malek's character does is that he meets the wife and child of Goering, and despite this man being a horrific monster, he squares this circle in his head where he's like a loving father who loves his wife and child. And then Goering gets upset that his wife and child are taken by the US government and put in prison as culpable for his crimes, right? And it's like, well, you can't even be upset about that. That's like, you're not thinking about the actions you committed because you did that exact thing. You did that exact thing. You forced Jews to not be able to own property. You forced Jews to give up their businesses. You forced them to move into ghettos. You forced them to pay for the damages of those businesses. And then when they couldn't pay because you had already removed them out of society, you put them in camps. It was a decent movie, all things considered. It wasn't like phenomenal, and some of the writing was a little hammy, but it was nice to see a drama that wasn't like ridiculously like rooted in like something modern. You don't get a lot of historical dramas anymore, you know. But anyway, the point of all this to say is, what makes you evil is your inability not to empathize with your fellow man. Okay, that's really what makes you evil. But it does not make you different. You're still human. There's a lot of people who don't learn lessons until it happens to them. It's Lovecraftian. Well, you know, I'm beginning to think that the French Revolution had the right idea, but you know, I don't think we're ready for that yet. I don't think we're ready to have that action happen. I would be happy with that. I don't think the world needs any more Mark Andreessens. I think we need less, actually. Because it turns out all of the quote-unquote intelligent... By the way, money does not mean you're an intelligent person, just to clarify, but the idea that the great men of our time are all idiotic midwits who talk to Chat GPT thinking they're uncovering the secrets of the universe is very telling of the intellectual rot of our time, okay? Not to say that I think I'm a fucking earth-shattering genius. I've been accidentally microdosing a laxative for the last 3 days. So... I'm too hot and sexy and rich and loquacious for empathy. I gotta be honest. Putting the word loquacious in there made that a generational chat right there. Loquacious really makes that. Okay, so we'll get on with the actual topic. What did you eat? Magnesium citrate, which is like a supplement you can take, but in too high of a dose is a laxative. Yeah. Oops. So this is old drama, but I think it's worth getting into because it's very funny. All right. So this is a guy by the name of Arcadum, right? And Arcadum was a famous dungeon master, right? So he did a lot of D&D campaigns for VShojo, which doesn't exist anymore. So a lot of VTubers, a lot of YouTubers. He was a D&D Twitch streamer, right? And he ended up on the receiving end of many allegations, okay, at the time, right? So we're talking, and when we're talking like this guy was like rubbing shoulders with the greats, this guy could have been Matt Mercer generationally wealthy, okay? He could have been somebody.
I paused my eugenics run to be here.
That's how you know that this is a LGBTQ chat, dude, because they're pausing their eugenics runs to be here. But we're talking like fucking Michael Reeves, Lily Pichu, Moon, Felicia Day. Like literally this guy had done the work. Okay. Anyway, here's the thing. This guy would do some stuff in VR chat, and it ultimately boiled over into him sexually harassing pretty much every woman he came across on the internet. This guy was horny. Not just like horny. He was like horny derogatory. This guy wanted action, and he was going to play the field and ask every single woman he knows in order to get something from them. Okay? That's how bad it was, right? When you have 20 separate twitlongers written about how you're like a sex pest, that's bad. That's really bad. He was also like a petty freak, right? So I think for those of you like going, Diesel, who gives a shit? This guy is a Gooner derogatory. We see many of these, right? I can show you something better because he has made many a funny statement. Okay. So this is a clip of Arcadum. Okay. And I just want us all to listen to it.
I mean, do you think that if you didn't do D&D that people wouldn't be friends with you? Like, that's not the case.
Yes. No. I know that's in fact, I can give you a percentage. It is actually, I believe it is 17.8% of the people that I run D&D for will continue to be my friends once the game is done. I have that number for you. I have made that calculation. I have made that calculation 4 separate occasions. The evidence is empirical. So, sorry. I believe it is 48% of you won't talk to me ever again.
This guy is very unjustified, I should say. If I was looking at this in a vacuum, I would say that most creator friendships are fair weather. And that, yeah, 90% of the time, if you provide a thing for somebody, it's like a content creation growth thing, like you run a D&D stream. Don't expect people to be your friend after it's done, okay? I've met many people in my career, and very few of them have stuck around. But that's just life, okay? You fucking move on. But yeah, this is some home app shit, yes.
Wait, what about the other percent?
Passing messages, not a real friendship.
Passing messages, not a real friendship. Maybe they get busy. Maybe they have something going on in their life. You know, this was 2020 to 2021. People were dying. There was a global pandemic. There was a racial reckoning in the United States, man. You know, there's a lot going on.
Now those numbers are probably
Maybe they're a VTuber. Well, I think if we're talking about which creators are the most fair weather, VTubers are very high up there on fair weather.
going to be more bloated onto the passivity due to my position as a streamer. I haven't done the recalculations based off of that yet, but I can tell you unequivocally that the use of DnD in order to make friends has a 17.8% retention rate.
So I don't think that's like even that bad. If you play at a table with 6 people, what is that? Like 1.5 people? Don't ask me to do the math on this, guys. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But like, you know, at every table I run, and I run a lot of tables, I do make friends with some of the people at the tables I run, you know, but not everybody at the table becomes my friend. But that's okay, you know, it's like a kind of a numbers game, you know. The friends you make in life are made up of a myriad of different places.
That's the tragedy that I live.
That's barely a tragedy. You're like a guy with white collar job be like, I work so hard.
So I don't expect you to understand that. I don't bring it up because it just makes people feel awful. But that's the reality of it.
I mean, is that like for all DMs or for you specifically?
That's for me.
I don't even, it's not even something, I don't go, here's another thing. When I DM, so I'm a working DM, like I am a working DM. I can actually speak on this as like a professional, right? I don't expect to be friends with everybody at my table, but I also don't go into DMing with the expectation of making friends. I'm there to provide a service as a DM, right? He's a professional DM. If he makes friends with some of these other streamers, that's great. But first and foremost, like I provide a service. So if my service leads to like a friendship with somebody else, that's great and amazing. But like at the end of the day, when I'm running a game, my attitude behind that is just to make the best game physically possible. That way everybody can enjoy it and walk away and say that they had a good time, you know? I think he might have a personality problem rather than people refusing his friendship. Well, because that's not what he wanted, right? Because he wanted a harem, okay? He wanted to goon, okay?
I can't speak for all DMs.
Right.
That's for me specifically.
But he's put like DM as a professional, he has put a lot of weight behind wanting to be like the most loved guy in the room. You know, as a DM, I think you should be, you know, a little bit raucous, a little bit like you know, an extrovert, party a little bit, be a little fun to be around. But like if you're just generally not a nice person to be around, who the fuck wants you as a DM either?
Considering that that's the only measurement that matters is because it's me. I'm not someone else. So yeah, that's me specifically.
Okay, but like, have you thought about why they wouldn't? Like
course I
aside
have.
from the obvious clout chasers, because
oh no. This is before clout.
Okay.
This is before any.
Before clout.
Arcadum's way of flirting was, "Hey girl, want to see how fast I can TPK your putty?"
Which is crazy, which is just crazy. Because look, man, if you want to get if you want to get a Discord kitten for your D&D, what you need to do is give them free items and play favorites, not threaten to kill everybody. The answer is simple. Women love gifts and trinkets, okay? It's very simple.
These measurements are based off my entire career.
These measurements are based off my entire... I'm sorry, if you did the math on this, you're mentally deranged. There's nothing... Like, you're broken in the head. Like, everything about it broken.
17.8%.
Okay. Well, have you thought about why though?
Of course I have, Naomi. Please.
Of course I have. So I have the full version of this. I was able to find it. We'll definitely get into this. Naomi was like a main character of this. This is obviously not going to be like a full encompassing like story of this guy. And I'm also not going to recommend the Crispy Taverns video because I don't like it when we have woke scold woke commentary, but like fuck me.
Yes, I have. I have augmented behaviors. I have
I have augmented behaviors. I think this guy might be neurodivergent. I don't know, man. I think he might be a little neurodivergent.
done experiments to determine why.
You've done experiments? What do you mean you've done experiments? That's weird as hell.
I have tried to pick different ethnicities.
You've tried to pick different ethnicities? Listen, I've tried to make friends, and I've looked at the racial statistics. I see no difference in the response from African American players to Caucasian players. They both deny me friendship equally.
different gender counts. I've done everything that was within my power to experiment, and
What I feel this is experiment evil, dude.
that number has remained depressingly the same. So,
Okay. Wow. There's another one here. Okay.
I'm tough. If I wasn't tough, I would have died long ago. Once, many years
This is very dramatic. This is so theater kid coded. I'm not even gonna lie. You know.
ago, I allowed myself to become arrogant, and I became the most
I am somehow less of a virgin than the sky.
You gotta like go out of your way to be this much of a virgin, you know.
evil version of myself that I have ever witnessed. It disgusted me. Because imagine, you know me enough now that you know what my abilities are.
You
Imagine
know what my abilities are. What you You're really great.
if they had no temperance and I was selfish.
You know, oh my god, dude.
Imagine the destruction that I could wreak.
What are you're so stupid. What are you saying? I don't know how you're the lady at the other end of this call and you don't burst out laughing. I don't know how you can. Look, man. I would not be able to expend that much. I wouldn't be able to keep I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face. I'm sorry. I could destroy you, Charlie. Domain expansion monologue of infinite cringe.
I was not a good person. I wasn't. And it was only because of my self-realization that thankfully my love for D&D outpaced my selfishness, and I was able to reach
What
out.
are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's D&D, bro. Why are we doing it like this?
Earl Dubay, how my life turned into an anime ass.
Dude, my life is like a video game, bro. Holy shit.
with myself. But the thing is that I know that my influence is palpable. And
Your
it's
influence is palpable? I'm not gonna lie, but 4 years later, people are not talking about him, so I don't know how he's feeling. It must be pretty bad. Dude, imagine being an anime villain, getting beaten, and then having to live with the fact that, like, your peak is you getting owned.
more destructive. Recently, I've been exposed to other people who also have that power at different degrees and specializations. But from what I've noticed, with the exception of probably two, mine is stronger than theirs. And I keep it in check.
This is corny. It's corny. It is so corny. There's no other way to describe this than corny. The music definitely doesn't help the corny factor, but damn.
because of fights.
This would go harder with Sephiroth music.
Every monologue sounds funny and better with Sephiroth's music.
Don't. I could really hurt someone.
He can really hurt someone. You know those memes where it's like a guy with a fedora and it's like, God help whoever gets a nice guy angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry. And then it's like, it plays the Skillet song. It's just beneath my skin. And I feel like I'm on. You know that it's like that. This is what that is. This is that.
That's the tragedy that I live.
This is the tragedy that you live. I'm sorry. Okay. Therapy is such a rare tool that often gets misused or underused, you know?
Training prevents me from being. I don't have the luxury.
You don't
of being
understand. Everyone's just one bad day away.
It's just another adjustment that I have to do in my constant state of service that I live in. That's why I don't talk about it.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, I had my whatchamacallit on. Let me turn off the reactive.
You mentioned on a Loaded Dice episode that you can publish things for people. Is Mana Potion now a publishing house?
Yeah, but I have to review it and it has to like meet a standard of quality, or I gotta go in and like work with the writer to fix it and stuff. There is like a Kickstarter happening eventually for somebody that is not me, but I can't talk about it because I'm not the project lead on it. My brother is. Oh, here it is. But yeah, we do that. Everyone's just one bad day away. One bad day, Batman, and you're just like me. So I think that this is really like crazy because you could see like here, so these like Twitlongers I can't access anymore. I got to go through the Wayback Machine for each of these. And obviously we can't like go over all of these, right? Because there'd be too many. He is very much the he is very much the yapper, and everybody has like an example of a time they've had with him, right? I think the one that is probably the most telling is going to be Naomi's, who I will pull up the tweetor of now, so that way we can all be on the same page. All right. So literally like just a streamer, okay? Just a streamer has been
It was really
a part of the D&D live play multiverse, okay?
dusty in there.
Do you publish dark romance? Zoran Momdami's silence on this subject is deafening.
I just used one page. It was the first page that. Okay.
But yeah. So this is who we will be reading the Twitlonger of. Naomi recorded quite a bit and has quite the long form experience. Okay, and her, along with many other women, wrote stories about their experience with Arcadum. Okay. Arcadum also has a response to these things, and there are calls. So we'll go over those. And there's a lot, so I'm going to skim over things. But just know that this guy was gotten dead to rights, pretty much. He was gotten dead to rights. And another thing I should mention about this guy, you might have seen it in the chat, but if you're like listening to this while you're driving or like not looking at the stream while this is going on, yeah. So after this happened, Arcadum basically got relegated to the Chud universe. So he streams like on Kick and stuff, and he does D&D for like the chuddies of the world rather than for the hot VTubers of the world, right? Which is definitely quite the fall off, and it was very bad. But this is like very much one of those genuinely astounding r/D&D horror stories type situations for anybody that's just looking for like a TLDR, right? Anyway, here's another. By the way, they also took down TwitLonger, and they've been updating TwitLonger for like the last forever. Fuck you, Elon Musk, yet again. My God, we got to get him to do a game with Templar, Nux, and Tectone. Why? I don't want to make the Sinister Six of sex offenders, dude. Yeah, the cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers extended universe. Anyway, we'll get into reading this right now. The Arcadum experience. Thank you for coming to read my story, watch my recordings, and hear my support to friends who are also struggling through the worst problems with the same person. As you all know, I keep my nose out of drama as much as possible. From what I've seen, some of my dearest friends have been treated so heinously over the past week, and beyond that, the past 2 years, that I cannot stay silent any longer. I'm going to be concise with sharing my perspective alongside the evidence. It's been really hard trying to parse all of this and to support the other women while also attending a family member's funeral, and I've been in a perpetual cycle of breaking down and coping. I'll do my best, so forgive me if anything is worded poorly. If there's anything that needs clarification, I'll address it. Here's my experience with Arcadum. On issues, January 19th, 2020. The Sinister Sex, parentheses, offender. One day out of nowhere, Arcadum started venting about his domestic issues. Normally, I am fine and a normal thing between friends. However, this is the kind of conversation that preceded a lot of what felt like pity baiting and pressuring to engage in a lewd behavior with me. And also all of the other girls that are speaking out. More on this below. Oh my God, don't fucking... I hate it when it's... Wayback Machine is like the worst way to deal with this. Diesel is the sex defender. Let's see. We'll do this. Let's see if it comes up. Some of this stuff is so old that it's kind of like... Naomi, so excited that I just can't hide it. I have a loop of those 2 lines for the straight 2 minutes as an alert. You gotta get me on those questions in the last message, though. I'm trying to put in a bit of work off of stream for something. We will be, yes, for 2 days total. 2 days have passed, or will it be bleak for 2 days? 2 days have passed. All right, thank you so much. Naomi, Mask of Shades, hell yeah. Laxative is working a final draft of this thing. I'll have art for tomorrow. Feels really good, man. Tomorrow's gonna be a good day. It so is. I feel like I have so much pressure on me right now. I feel pretty good about it. I just wish I didn't have all this negativity on me. Negativity? Sorry, I'm in a call right now, so I can't super respond well, but I will after. Okay, never mind. Feel free to message me, though. I'll absolutely get back to you. I'm done with this call soon. I'm free to respond and read. Is it a negativity just pressure on yourself or that feeling of not being in a good mood or something more external? Because if you're happy with the pressure on you is obviously separate, then that's negativity on you. Mostly the negativity I feel from home, I guess. I feel pretty frustrated most of the time. When it's time to rest and relax. Oh, heck, is everything all right with Tiff, or is it family stuff? Yeah, things between us haven't been good lately. It's something that's been going on for about a year. Pretty much ever since she basically fooled around on me. There's a lot of history in it, and to be honest, I've been struggling with happiness for a while. So, again, to the knowers of this drama, does he have like a partner that I'm unfamiliar with? Oh, my Discord crashed. There we go. We'll go to this next one. Sorry to dump all that on you. No, it's very understandable. It's also messages in Ma right now and brain. Really sucks to hear. It's hard to get through and understandable. Some people can never fully get over it and forgive it. You definitely do a good job of hiding it, whether that's for stream or not, but it doesn't sound healthy. Have you been communicating well? It's a lot to catch you up on, but essentially she doesn't want to change or do anything. And yet another has gone by and she hasn't married me. Another year has gone by and she hasn't married me. So I'm pretty distraught by it. Are you engaged? I thought you were already married, honestly. We've been engaged for 8 years. Oh boy. I have, maybe this is a hot take. This might be a hot take. I'm obviously not married, chat. So, you know, I clearly do not speak from experience. I know people who have been engaged, and I have known people who have gotten married. And I gotta be honest, if you're like engaged for like that long, you're not getting married. Okay? Like it's just not happening. And I think the sooner that people can reconcile with that, the better, because you should know that your partner is just spinning their wheels on it and you need to just rip the Band-Aid off. Or like, you know, it's like a shit or get off the pot situation. If your partner isn't willing to shit, then you got to force them off the pot and move on with your life, you know? Unless it's for like external reasons, if it takes that long. Yeah. Of course, but there are definitely individuals where that is not the case. And I have seen that where it is not that case. I don't know what my cutoff would be for me personally. I would say 3 years is about like my maximum for like holding off for something like that. I'm also the man in the relationship, so if I propose to a woman, you know, I kind of throw that ball into the court, right? So it's, if it was taking that long, something is very clearly amiss, right? So engaged for 8 years is clearly something is deeply wrong in the relationship anyway. It also sounds like your partner cheated, which is also really bad. By the way, this doesn't excuse his cheating. None of that excuses his cheating. It doesn't undo that at all. And it isn't an excuse for when he does cheat. But it is very clearly one of those things where like a guy should like make a decisive decision and stop being such a wet napkin. Okay? Oh, wow, that's a very long time. I'm sure that frustration keeps building, too. Was her fooling around very serious? 7 years into the engagement, doing that. It's pretty shitty. I'm sorry to hear that. It was an ERP in the living world. That may not be seen like much, but it broke our rule, and it really hurt me. Okay. I don't ERP in the living world. So I think that's in a VR chat. It's ERP in like a digital space. ERP in a digital space, okay? Okay. It was not ERP in real life. I don't know what the over-under on something like that is. Okay. What a weird way to cheat on your spouse or to cheat on your fiance. What a weird way to do it. You know, if you were going to do it, I think you would just do something a little bit more, you know, exciting. even people in open relationships have boundaries. Like not being with specific people, you might think, well, if they can sleep with anyone, why is it so bad that they slept with that one person? That's trust you put down, lines of faith and respect, and if they're broken, that's a lot. But yeah, it's like I just, but like I have just been sad all the time. All right. So clearly he's doing this to get back pats from the woman in this situation. He may even genuinely feel sad. But let me just say this. You need a shit or get off the pot because now you just kind of look pathetic. I mean, this many years on by now, it's pretty fucking rough. I don't even know. Maybe he did get married in that in-between time. But just like looking at the situation at the current, for the viewer watching, you gotta just shit or get off the pot because otherwise you look like a loser. It's a very hard situation to be in. You deserve to be happy and accept. It sucks not to be on the same wavelength as your SO. Not to mention she won't take care of her health problems. And even after I keep telling her, she just won't. Oh, geez, are they serious? Yeah, they are. And it's like we get free healthcare because of the military, but she keeps making excuses. That's absolutely ridiculous. Does she not value her health at all? This motherfucker's like looking for excuses, dude. He's looking for excuses. This is like one of those situations where like the guy should clearly like, all right, honey, you're gone. Unless he's dependent on her, then that's a different story. Then he kind of fucked himself, I guess. But and then she's sharing more of the DnD stuff. As far as I know, the living world is his D&D world. Okay. Just break up with her. Goddamn, yeah. Dude, break up with her now before you get married and it gets all fucking complicated. Let's see, man. Do you know what you're gonna do about all of this? It doesn't sound like a situation you can just leave hanging. It won't solve itself, but solving people problems can be one of the hardest things. I have no other choice, really. I still care about her, but man, she makes it hard to. You always have a choice. Some of them are just sad and difficult. Some may require a different approach. Are all exhausting in a situation where you really shouldn't be having issues, but should be having happiness, love, and support. Yeah, it's a lot to deal with, but right now, I guess I'm trying to get my stream to a point where I can be proud of myself. So it's hard not to view all of these messages through a veneer of this guy wanting to have ERP sex. But also that being said, there is something to be said about a guy who's very clearly not addressing the elephant. You know, there's like a big elephant that he's like, I can't focus on the elephant right now because I gotta stream, I gotta grind. Have a good stream. And hey, I mean, it's all right. I know it's hard and how desperate and lonely it can feel when in a situation like that. Friends definitely pulled me out of the hole I was in. You're the most hell yeah, brother, pal. And if you gotta talk it out or want company while working or whatever, if I'm awake, I'll make it happen. Hey, before I start, I was gonna ask, I plan on going ham on my fitness tomorrow. Season 2, fresh start, fresh workout, and health ethic. Want to join my pack? Yo, how you doing today? How you doing today? Doing okay. D&D starts in 5 minutes. Oh, sweet. I was watching Adventure as well. Thank you. Hey, man, my hands smell like smoke, ashes, and ink, so I wanted to send this over before the campaign. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. She's like talking to a Gooner brick wall. She's trying to also be like a really, really nice friend, too. I used to watch him. They did split, by the way, and all of this was definitely cheating on his end. At the time, I never saw anything about her cheating, so I can guess he made it up for pity. Yeah, I mean, 8 years down the line, it's anybody's guess. I will say when I have seen engagements last this long, usually there is some infidelity going on one or both ways. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes both ways, you know? I would be so mad if my DM tried to goon while I tried to show off my character stuff. Yeah, man, that's crazy, dude. You'd only want your DM to goon with you if you're doing like I keep saying I'm gonna do kinks and cantrips with my party. I haven't had time. I really want to do that, but that is like gooning the game. I need to go take a shit, by the way, because of all the laxative I ate. So I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Because of all the laxative I accidentally ate, I need to go goon. I mean, no, poop. I need to go poop.
Diesel will be right back. He is scooping right now. GOO Ning while POO ping.
Maybe I should bite my tongue. Save the air in my lungs. It doesn't matter what I say if we don't communicate. But you made me a believer, and I won't believe that it's the end. Please tell me all your reasons. You change your mind like the seasons once again, 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 again. But baby, say something, your silence is too loud. Where's the love when I'm around? Ooh, ooh. But better get to running, better get to running, better get to running. The time is running out.
I'm back. Fuck. God, my ass. Guys, I also had hot sauce before I knew that this was the issue. Oh, God, what a stupid series of events to put myself in. I feel you. I drank Miralax yesterday and got diarrhea today. What do you mean you? What did you accidentally drink Miralax? Okay, to be clear, here's why I messed up on this. Okay, here's why. Here, hold on. Let me show you how I was thinking to myself. I was having like I needed to adjust to like fucking ADHD medication, and one of the things that I read online is that many people in the ADHD community supplement with this magnesium citrate. This is what milk of magnesia is. So didn't know that. Didn't know that. Why would you do that? Because one of the things that happens is that like I would be like tense all the time when I first started taking the medication, right? And that was like a byproduct of like my body adjusting to the dopamine levels from the medication. So I read that this would ease the tension, and it did. It also made me shit.
How was the gooping?
Ready for bottoming? I'm not ready yet. I can tell you that. Yeah, it's a muscle relaxer, Chad. It's a muscle relaxer. Anyway, by the way, I would eat like 3 sets of these a day. because sometimes it would get pretty bad. Once you've recovered, try soaking your feet in magnesium flakes instead. I gotta be honest, I'm a little afraid to touch anything that's magnesium related these days. I've made a I've made a severe mistake. And I don't I can't do it again. It's been bad. How long did it take for you to realize something was wrong? Too long, Pie. Too long. I thought I was sick with like a bug or something. But I'm like, how can I be sick with like a stomach bug? I don't feel nauseous. My appetite hasn't changed. I sleep fine. So I was like thinking to myself, what the fuck is wrong? And I couldn't think of anything. And then, you know, it just, yeah. And then I was on Twitter and I saw somebody post a picture of this bottle of magnesium citrate that was like, it was in a bottle of soda, as if it was like a Sprite. It was like a Sprite bottle. And it said, the Sprite that makes you shit. And I was like, that's weird. What a funny joke. And then I look at the ingredient on the cover and it says magnesium citrate. And I'm like, wait a second. And so then I Google it. And then I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. Thank God my For You page is listening to me. A severe and prolapsed in my judgment, if you will.
Diesel will do everything but eat oatmeal for fiber.
I have yet to see oatmeal that is good, Ash. Okay? I have yet to see a good oatmeal. I am waiting. I want to experience it. I need a good oatmeal. I need a good, cheap overnight oats. But the thing is that overnight oats are like a gentrified food now. And so they're mad expensive. You can't eat oatmeal. His heritage forbids it. Eat bananas. I eat bananas. Heal your bowels by eating sugar-free gummy bears. I think I'm good. Anyway, we'll get back to reading. All right. Anyway. We had been discussing a recent stream Arcadum did when he suddenly started talking about how he's going through relationship problems, feels unattractive, how he wants to relieve the pressure, how he needs release. Has he tried masturbation? I mean, he's like a celebrity DM. I don't know why it's so hard for him to pull. He must not be very charming. How he wants to relieve the pressure, how he needs release, and how he still wants to keep him being single out of the public eye. That's weird. Why do you want to do that? Wouldn't you want your audience to know? I was very quick to jump in with the supportive homie role, because I didn't like where this was going. I recommended that he share the fact he's single with the world. If he was so interested in finding a fuck buddy or partner, yeah. But of course, to this day, he's still calling his girlfriend his wife. It felt like an attempt to make me pity him to the point of doing something with him. But this is what happened with a lot of other girls. Although for some reason, for some of them, it went further, read their stories, but it didn't up here for me either. Here's the thing, is like, if he had just said that he was single, he would have gotten so much D&D gamer tail. Like, unironically. Like, if you wanted to be a fucking hoe, just be a... I'm sorry, I can tell you that it's like... I almost seem like such a chauvinistic pig when I say this, but like, I pull so easily. Dude, D&D... players are so fucking horny, dude. I pull more now than I ever have. In fact, between this And like between streaming and being a professional DM, the amount I pull is like crazy. It's crazy. It really is super not that hard. So, and it's really funny. I was at my store, and one of my friends, her name's Brittany, she came over. She was letting us try some vegan pizza, right? Because she'd been talking it up, and we like I don't know how it started or we got on the topic of it, but Joey, who's a manager at the store, asked her what she thought of me, and Brittany's very neurotic. Brittany is like Cat, right? So you guys have seen Cat on stream. Brittany is like that, right? And she said, you, and she's like, I don't want to be mean. And I'm like, no, just say it. And she's like, you think you're slick in that everything you say is incredibly charming, but you're not slick and you say stupid things all the time. And I just laughed, right? Because it's true. Because I do think I'm slick. I do think I'm slick. True. Yeah, I think I'm that. I 100% think I'm that. It's not my fault though, okay? You guys keep giving me an ego. Did you tell her about third spaces? She called you out. Yeah, she did. She definitely did. She's like, I don't want you to not be my friend because I said that. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. Because it was true, right? We do juice you up. Because here's the thing though, look, let's be real. If I was a completely uncharming, unflattering, ugly troglodyte of a person, I think a good portion of you wouldn't want to watch these streams. I think that's a very reasonable thing for me to say. I don't think I'm saying anything ridiculous or incredibly like, oh, this guy's ego is ridiculous. I don't think that to be the case. I do think that plays a role in your experience as a viewer, right? So I think it would be wrong of me to think otherwise, right? If I thought that I wasn't charming, then I would be less charming. If I didn't believe in myself, then I wouldn't be confident in myself. If I didn't think I was cool, then I would go through life thinking I'm a fucking loser. Okay? Like you either it's not even like a fake it till you make it thing, but you actually got to like fucking love yourself and think you're the shit, or you're gonna start doing things like getting a bone smashing hammer out and putting on shoulder pads so that way you can strike out with women at the club. Okay? So like confidence makes men who are like a 3 go up to a 7. I know I'm not like the mathematically hottest man out there, but if I didn't act confident, I would be like a miserable shit. Who the fuck would want to be around me? That's just like the reality of it. You know? Like there's a lot of those things that make like a huge difference. You know, it's like, it's very telling when you get like a guy like Clavicular who clearly, well, Clavicular is kind of a weird one because I think Clavicular does love himself, but I think he doesn't know how to love himself in a way that isn't unhealthy. Wit is so fucking important, and I think wit is something men have forgotten how to do. IMO wit requires the confidence to bomb because sticking to landing pays off. Yeah, so the thing is I used to, in my day-to-day life, I used to be afraid of just saying what was ever on my mind, right? If I think of like a funny quip, I wouldn't say it because I was afraid of bombing. But now I say so many quips all the time that even when I bomb, I move on to the next thing so quickly that it doesn't matter. Like, I know many of my jokes are awful, but because, you know, because I can be frank and move on to the next joke, no problem, which is crazy because my name's Diesel. It's not even Frank. You know, because I can do that, it works. But if I dwelled on the bad joke or forced it, then it might not work. Sometimes I wish you wouldn't say what's on your mind. Did you see Androgenic use his shoulder pads and got frame mogged by Clavicular? I did see he got frame mogged. Let's keep reading these messages. That's Arcadum's Discord. All my jokes land and are sexy and cool and loquacious. I see somebody is really happy about finding out the word loquacious, huh? It was rare to hear him speak up about that thing yesterday, but again, it was only there for like 5 minutes. Had a hot date to run and all. Omega lol. I can't sleep myself. I feel fucking miserable because of what you said, or rather the discussion you participated in. A little of that, but mostly just my relationship problems and going through this break. Oh shit, we never got to talk about that. I figured that was a problem that was getting you down a little while ago when you asked to chat. Yeah, I'm dealing with so much. I feel like I'm going to crack. I remember you saying there was room for two things in your heart, her and DnD. If one of those things is wavering, a huge part of your emotional support system has taken a toll. If you need to take a break, everyone will understand, or lessen your workload. If you're taking on more work than you can reasonably handle, try to bury yourself in it. It might actually happen. Holy shit, I forgot about Arcadum. I'm just tired of feeling so alone, to be honest. Couple that with how unattractive I feel because of her lack of interest, and I'm just miserable. So here's the thing. For those of you that watch this guy, was he like a good DM? Was he like really good? He must have had something going on for him, right? Could he not? Like, I feel like a lot of the DMs I know are very, very affable and charming. Like, even like in my like day-to-day, the DMs that like are there and are like really good, they're all very affable. Like, they could be a guy that looks pretty like mid to like bad, but like they're so fucking charming that it changes the whole dynamic, dude. It changes the whole dynamic. Yeah, it's baiting for compliments. I only watched him play with Critical for like an hour and got bored. I'm just miserable. That's so sad. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be feeling alone in a relationship. If you don't mind my asking, what's the current situation? The last time we talked about it, you guys were working through some bad feelings after her infidelity. It was quite a while ago. Well, she bought drugs from my father, whom I hate, lied to me about it, and when I confronted her, she hit me. Jesus Christ. So that's what I'm dealing with. Oh no, that's fucking awful. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I feel pretty fucking awful, man. Are drugs taking up her life right now? She's self-medicating for her bipolar disorder. Oh, brother. This guy. I basically just sit around alone and unwanted in the prime of my goddamn life. I feel so ugly, man. What's up? Fellas, that's not really a prime in your life, okay? If you reach your peak at like 25, sure. If you reach your peak at like 35, sure. I don't know about that. I think that's a lie that we tell ourselves. Feel so ugly, man. That's a real tough one. Even more so with the bipolar disorder, taking drugs, but Jesus, I hate the self-doubt. When you have your heart fixed on one person and they don't want you for whatever reason, it's easy to feel a lot of self-doubt and done some. Have you considered parting ways, trying to find someone whose heart and body connect with you? Not years ago, but now. Well, we're on a break, but I doubt everyone would want me, man. God. He's doing a pick-me guy thing. That's what he's doing. This is such a multifaceted problem, you know, because if you have a lot of self-doubt, you're probably not putting yourself out there. And a lot of the time, the feeling you have about yourself are often visible to others. But if you're primarily interested in women, even if looks aren't your biggest concern, it's really important to note that so many women rated looks pretty damn low on the importance scale. An emotional connection comes first, and someone that can make them laugh. Well, I should say that you shouldn't look like a fat fucking chud, but you know, I think you should do that for yourself first. I think that like that is like such a black pill if you're like a guy who has like, you know, you're self-deprecating. If you have like a girly pop friend who's like, it's okay you're not pretty because you can have an emotional connection or you're funny. But like, what a fucking little cretin. This guy just wants like her to reciprocate feelings that she clearly doesn't have. As much as I like pathetic men, begging for pity is so fucking sad. Oh my god. I remember he was actually a pretty decent DM, but he had the advantage of picking up a good support system of artists and veteran players. It masked that he was a piece of shit behind the scenes. No, my internet is ass again. Because of course it is. It is. I see that it is. The frames are dropping. I'm just going to keep rolling through it. Yeah, it's that hour of the night. So all subjective thoughts aside, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and if you love yourself and carry yourself well, there'll be people who find you attractive as hell. That's true. That's true. I think I'm hot as fuck, which is why I pull. Okay? I think I'm hot, therefore I am. I think I slay, therefore I mog. Okay? I think I slay, therefore I mog. I think it's so funny that in all the social math Arcadum did, he didn't solve for his rancid personality. Brother weaponizes empathy and sympathy. Dude just wants to social engineer fuckers. Yeah, if he had like an affable personality, it really wouldn't be hard for him to pull at all, really. They don't make drama like this anymore, so true. I just want to be able to relax and to relieve this constant pressure. Guy describing his inability to masturbate. Because I feel like I'm being pressed in from all sides. In all honesty, I'm still trying to stay positive. The stream is doing well. Really, the most important physical things are dressing in clean clothes that suit you, making sure you're clean and groomed, your teeth are clean, physical hygiene over looks. Because if a person's stanky, it don't matter how good they look. That's another thing. That's another thing. Here's a huge fucking dude. All right, I'll give you this, chat. Right, when you guys were like Diesel should stop wearing tank tops and wear something with buttons. So true. So true, Queen. So true. Okay? Because there's such a humongous difference that makes. Like, it's crazy. This stream has become about how much pussy Diesel can... No, because this is unironic of, like, good advice. I cannot even begin to say how good of advice this is. Okay, because when you wash your face and like have like a good teeth cleaning regimen and fucking dress in clothes that fit your physique, dude, it makes such a huge difference. You should also have a sense of style too, right? You gotta, fellas, we gotta play dress up a little. Okay, you gotta look in your closet, find out what you have, and be able to like put together some outfits that represent a style, okay? Because that kind of thing is going to make you look better than just wearing like whatever's trendy, right? Like you could really make a huge difference by dressing nice. Do not look greasy should not be advice. It really is though. It really is. There's some guys that don't wipe their butt. Okay, you guys don't understand how crazy it is out there. Chat should start dress me up. People think I'm a teen sometimes. I'm in my mid-20s. That's something I learned. I have nice hair, I think. Yes, of course. It's a totally natural human need. And if you're a person for whom you've come to expect love, support, and intimacy, it being taken away is the worst thing. It's an awful feeling. Yeah, it is. It's wonderful how well the stream is going, because you do deserve it. Dude, she's trying to be such a, like, a wholesome friend. Oh my god. So when you need it even more from people you still have close to you, it's like your romantic and physical support batteries are at 0, so you can't expect to be operating at 100% on this. It makes perfect sense. It's perfectly reasonable, all these feelings about it. Yeah, that's true. For the first time ever, I actually went to OnlyFans. Because someone from VR chat had one, and I was thinking to myself, what would it be to seek companionship? And honestly, I just don't think I could do it. How come? I don't know. I just need physical release, but also I need to know the person. So you can't just goon, you gotta know the person's, you know, feelings. I think... So anonymity is sort of self-defeating for me, at least. I... I don't know. I don't know. That's a red flag, man. That's a red flag. Demisexual gooning. I thought this was like a, like, what is it? A sapiosexual? One of those annoying ones, you know? Is it demisexual gooning? I can't goon to you on a physical level. It also has to be on an emotional level. All right. I thought you were referring to seeking companionship as looking for a new mate. But yeah, no, absolutely. Makes sense talking about an anonymous connection like that. A lot of people on OnlyFans, most I think, are just digital anyway. Well, finding a new mate would take it a step further down the line. Right now, I'm just so stressed out and lonely. I think I would just need something to help me get through today to day. This is so pathetic. This is actually very pathetic. You're like, I want a fuck friend that I'm also like friends with. Which, I mean, I guess you could have. By the way, friend, men watching,
At Rosie
okay?
Poyo became a member. At Rosie Poyo celebrates 3 months of membership. Hey, does anyone else remember that period where everyone wanted to tango with Danny DeVito during like the plague? Or was I
Did
hallucinating
that
that?
happen? Yeah, sure, it probably did happen. Okay. Sorry, I haven't gotten that woke update yet. Thank you, Pinker. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's just like... I've never seen a guy score a friends with benefits by like being pathetic, you know? Like she's just gonna be just like, oh my god, he's so miserable, let me have sex with him. Because that's what he's trying to tee up here. He's trying to tee that up. And it's very clear. This is giving me flashbacks. Men don't do this. Yeah, literally. Like, it's very clear that's what he's trying to do. But now I say it out loud, and that seems pathetic. It is. And also a little creepy. I don't know. It is. Have you considered trying to connect more with anybody in your community? Not like viewers, but like anyone you consider a friend or someone else who could maybe work with or played with? I'm sure a lot of people are just so aware that if you have TIFF, that they wouldn't even consider it, you know? Also, I don't know if you've made a break public knowledge, but a lot of people avoid situations like that too, because they still want to respect both people in the break and don't want to get into something that'll like end when a break is over. And it's not pathetic or creepy at all. It's both an emotional and a physical basic human need. It's not public, no, and as for the break thing, I have no idea about it. I didn't want to like get backlash on her. As for someone that I know, I have no idea who would even be interested in me. Any woman, that is. I don't really feel valuable as a man right now. I gotta be honest. You could be the brokest motherfucker in Timbuktu. It don't matter. It don't matter. Like, it's very clear that this guy is like playing a pity card for like pity fucks, which is just like really just pathetic, right? Because I could tell you everything he has said is like a failing of his, is like, it doesn't matter. Like, it really genuinely doesn't matter. It's actually crazy how much it doesn't matter. She was trying so hard to be nice to him. Yeah. Let's just go to the VR chat. Unfortunately, I don't have any evidence of this. I don't think I'm a good friend. I didn't think my good friend was going to put me through an uncomfortable position like this up close and personal, and I wasn't streaming or recording. Take this as you will. I'm not putting too much weight on this, but this is my recollection of my experience in VR chat with Arcadum sometime between these conversations. I was in VR chat, and Arcadum requested on me. We went over some pleasantries, and he started talking about how pent up and repressed he was feeling. That is so fucking creepy. I do not like the concept of a guy saying that he's pent up and repressed. Because that's clearly like he wants to fuck, but he doesn't know how to. You know, you could just ask people if you want to have sex. You could just say, "Hey, do you want to goon with me? Would you like to goon?" Maybe they'll say goon. I don't think women like it when you say that. I think that's like probably not very sexy, but. He kept moving closer as he was saying these things. I kept moving away and tried to shift the conversation in an encouraging and friendly direction. Eventually, he was like, all right, well, I gotta go. Just wanted to stop by to see how you were doing, I guess. And we hadn't talked about D&D or any of the stuff we have normal, friendly conversations about. And he left. There wasn't a second, I'm sad, I'm horny pity fest after the events on June 30th that ended similarly. Dude, he was trying to commit VRSA, dude. It's gonna be VRSA. We know all about this, chat. We all know about this. This happens one day after Arcadum asks Kelly Siren out, read her story for info, and gets rejected. While still publicly with Tiff, and actively talking to other women as well. Read their stories for info, allegedly he asked at least 200 people out that same week. In case the context is enough, you can see in the DMs, he has to call me, and then afterwards, I thank him for telling me about his feelings for me. In this call, he said, I would like to request to formally court you. Yeah, that's awful. That's an awful one. I think that's probably one of the worst, actually. My lady, I would like to request to formally court you. And so on and so forth. I turned him down because I was interested in someone. A bit down the line, I tell him I'm still there for him. I hope he'll be able to speak up next time he has feelings for someone. And I tell him that it won't affect our friendship. This is... I don't think you can say that it won't affect the friendship. I mean, obviously, we know what happens. Yeah, aren't you supposed to ask her father? Oh, that's rough. Wow, that was bad. I would like to request to formally court you. I wish you the best of luck, Naomi. Thank you again for telling me. I wish you the best of luck again. Hey, friend. I just wanted to let you know I'm still there to talk to you or vent. You're great, and it sucks that you are feeling sending great hugs. Thanks. Honestly, I feel a little embarrassed and ashamed. But I'm trying to lift myself up. For what it's worth, I'm really proud of you for saying something. I hope you're able to speak up next time. No, you need to just not talk to him. I gotta be honest, you need to just not talk to him. I know you're trying to be a bigger person, but like the only way you can help him is by ignoring him. I'm not joking, and I know that sounds really mean, and it probably sounds against your empathy, but I'm being very honest here. If a guy asks you out and you deny his advances, you need to be like, okay, he doesn't want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to him, and then just drop it and then try and pick up the friendship later. Because if you're like trying to immediately pick it up right after it happens, it's just gonna make it worse. Okay, that's like a recipe for like having an argument, or a recipe for like some kind of back and forth forever. Don't do that, right? You need to just ignore. Like, you need to just drop them for a little bit. And I know that sounds fucked up, and you might have some professional relationship. That's fine, right? But you need to set a clear and determinable boundary that separates it, right? Because otherwise he's gonna keep doing it again and again. You actually got, for everybody's sake, you just gotta cut him off. Yeah, the immediate hey friend. Yeah, making none of it better. None of it's better. Because she's trying to like what she's trying to do is put the relationship back where it was before. And he's like, I still feel like shit. I wish I never did that. And it's like, well, okay, just don't talk to each other. Just don't fucking talk to each other. That's what you gotta do. And this isn't going to affect our friendship in any way. So no matter what, you're welcome to reach out. And then he reaches out like 6 or 7 days later. 6, 7. See what I mean? Not every joke is going to be a winner, but, you know, we're just going to keep on moving. All right, here's the first recording. Oh boy, this might not work. The big shit. Why is this called the big shit? No, don't worry. I can get this. I can get this. You know why I can get this? Because here it is. Context before the call. Yo, Snake posted in the wrong chat, but he's gonna be 10 minutes late. Well, might be like 10 minutes late. Okay. So you know, Naomi, you're the girl that doesn't get invited back to the parties. That was a little uncalled for. And after a really bad weekend, that shit made me cry. I was just kidding. It was just banter, Naomi. I'm sorry it hurt your feelings. Some banter can be hurtful. I'm sorry, Pepe hands. I'm running PP hands. I'm like PP hands. I'll not banter with you anymore. My apologies. I'm fine with banter in general. This motherfucker is still not over you, brother. Clearly he was hitting up every single woman he knows, so he shouldn't feel that bad about it. He should really like kind of have a much stronger chin, but then in the same breath, I don't know what the fuck you thought. You should have just parted ways. You just need to be an asshole. All right? When you see a man at his lowest, you got to push him off the cliff for your own sake. Okay? This is actually a girls get it done thing. I'm telling you. When you have a male in your life that you're not interested in, and you tell him that, and then you stay being friends, you need to just push him off a cliff. You need to push him off a cliff. It's the only way forward. The only way forward. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Yeah, banter, and it's just an insult. Americans be like, this is banter. So imagine nobody loved you. I'm fine with banter. How much good shit talking have we done over the past year and a half, you know? But that's basically saying, you know, Naomi, nobody likes you. And that's not really banter, in my honest opinion. Well, it was banter because that's how it was meant. And it was a response to the banter of your own. So I'll not engage with banter with you. Oh my god, you're being such a piss baby. You're being such a piss baby. You guys being so bitch made. As to ensure such a thing will not happen again. Is this guy autistic? The relationship advice stream is getting kind of wild, not gonna lie. I'm sorry, sometimes you just need to be an asshole. It's the only way. Like, I don't know what to tell you. If a guy is smart enough, he'll separate himself on his own. But like if he actually gave a shit about like the person he was pursuing and he dropped the ball, like he'll do it respectfully for like everybody's sake, so that way he could just move on. Assuming he's not like, I don't know, either that or it's like maybe he's like an idiot. I don't know. He writes like a jar, but jar with correct spelling. Bros mean banter. That's literally just kill yourself. And it doesn't mean no one likes you. I didn't say anything about you personally, though. I corrected a couple of typos, because that's it. What I said. What do you want from Naomi? A public apology? No, lol. Oh my god, this guy is such a fucking martyr. I already said I'm sorry and that it wouldn't happen again. It's just been hard to tell the last couple of days, and hearing that hurt. And I wanted to let you know that. And thank you for saying sorry. But I also want you to understand there's a difference between actual friendly banter that we do all the time, which is no issue at all, and the comments that actually hurt people. And I don't need you to explain that to me because no one else but you took it that way. And to be honest, it was quite tame. But as I said, I won't do it anymore to ensure your safety in a safe place. And also, since we're just talking frank, actually, never mind. No, what's up? I apologized. It won't happen again, and I want to talk about the other shit because I won't be gentle about it. My sympathy meter is run the fuck out today. Oh my god, what a fucking drama queen. Okay, don't talk about it today, but at least tell me what other shit you're referring to because I'm not aware of what we should be talking about. Naomi, you got what you wanted, did you not? God, what a queen, like a fucking cornball queen over here. Let's see. I apologize. It won't happen again. I don't want to talk about it today.
One of my fave dramas of all time, and I don't need to be anywhere tomorrow. Let's go.
At least tell me what the other shit is. You got what you wanted. Did you not, bro? What I want is a healthy friendship. It sounds like you have something to say. If you don't want to talk about it, I'll do it on voice, not text. I don't want my intention to be misconstrued. Sure thing. Give me 5 minutes. Or 2 minutes. Alrighty, I'll grab some water. I'm ready. Call that lasts 44 minutes. All right. Well, well, well. Let's get on to the call.
Hello.
It's been a while. I feel like it's been a while since we've listened to a Discord call. Right? Does it not feel like it's been a long time since it's been one of these? I'm going to give you guys some stimulation. Hold on. There we go. That is not what I want. There we go. The train crash compilation.
Hi, how you doing?
Was Jar the last Discord call? Yeah, I think he was.
Today is not a good day for me, at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Right. So let's get this over with.
This guy is very corny. Oh my god, I can't stand how corny he is. God, he minces so many words.
I didn't mean any insult when I said what I said. It was very tame compared to what all the rest of us were doing and talking about.
For sure.
You joined in, and you had every opportunity to see that coming before you joined in of how we were talking.
Actually, so I came in literally when you mentioned Neve, like to the stream.
Well,
and
then that is not my fault. Nor is what happened to you this weekend. Nor is what happened to me.
Oh, this guy is such like a piece of shit. Actually, oh my god. He does not even want to admit he's at any kind of fault. You could just say that you did something mean and apologize for it. You know.
Of course.
Your fault either.
When I do something mean but I'm not sorry about it, I say it. I'm not sorry about it. I think what I said was justified. Like I've said that to people.
My point is that this is basically how this is going to go down. The way I look at it. You joined in. I took a soft shot at you.
Okay, this guy is actually like being giga cringe, dude.
Very tame. The same thing I would have said to anyone else, and that obviously hurt your feelings. That's not how I meant it. Nobody else there thought
These
that's
are
how that was
violent
meant.
as fuck.
Nobody listening.
Yeah,
thought
these are
that's
pretty
how it was
bad. These train crashes are pretty bad.
I mean, in response to that, like one person in the call was like, "Oh, bro," like in that kind of.
I think
tone.
this person is about to die. Hold on. He's probably not dead, but that's
A
not
few
very
people
good.
in chat said it was too far.
Well, okay. First of all,
That
people in
guy's
chat are gonna exasperate everything.
I'm sorry. I know we're supposed to be listening to these calls.
And if you're using them as your argument, it's not a good argument. And
Okay,
that
Kelly
harm-
also thought it was too far because I was crying and her and I were hanging out after, and she was asking why I was sad, and I told her that that's what you said, and I understood that it was banter, but that it hurt me, and she understood and.
Well,
was
yeah.
like,
What is she supposed to say? What that you're wrong? No, she's gonna be supportive to you.
He is actually so wrong. He is actually so wrong in this. It would be so easy. Like he literally could do one of two things here, and these would be infinitely better. Him lying and saying it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Is infinitely worse. He should have been like, yeah, what I said was mean, and I'm not sorry. Or he should have been like, yeah, what I said it was mean, and I'm sorry, and just do one of those, right? Because he clearly knows that it was wrong, but he's choosing to not be honest about it.
That's come on.
Whoever wanted a trade. We're really when Diesel plays a car crash compilation, everybody thinks it's hilarious. But the second I do a train crash compilation, we got a problem with it.
Okay, dude, I'm just saying that
Anyway, like I was saying before I was interrupted, Harm, that's his way of joking and going, bro, like to exasperate it. That's a whole back and forth thing that had been happening the whole time. So here's my problem. That's where I go to relax. I was relaxing and having a great time.
Why is bro speaking lowercase Helvetica? That's brutal.
Came in and I wanted to include you, which is banter. So when I said, you know, you don't get invited back to the parties, the perfect response would have been the same amount of parties you do, and that would have been.
This guy, is he kind of trying to retroactively tell